I'm feeling so good today, I could do two things at once. G'day guys, Beer Healer here and welcome back to the shed for another brew day. Now I got up this morning and I was feeling awesome, so I thought to myself, I reckon I could have a shot at doing two things at once today. Yes ladies, I know you find that hard to believe, but some of us men do have the ability to multitask. So I thought, I'm going to do two things. First up, I'm going to brew a beer, and secondly, I'm going to create a temperature controlled fermenter out of the old wine fridge of mine. So first up, the beer. I checked around the shed for ingredients and I just sort of scraped together some pale malts, just enough to make about a 17 litre batch, and a few hops that I had left over, so some Ella hops and some Enigma hops, so a pretty simple recipe today. And then I've got up and I've milled the grains and I've got the water ready to go in here, and this is just heating up now, just getting ready to mash in. So I'll let that do its thing, and then I'll head on down to the home brew store, pick up the bits and pieces I need to create the temperature controlled fermenter, come back, pull all that stuff together, keep an eye on the brew as it goes through its stages, and then by the time beer o'clock comes around, everything will be ready and finished and I can sit down and have a bit of a relax. So while Brewie does its thing, I'm going to jump in the car, head on down to the local home brew store, and we'll check back in soon. So fresh back from the home brew store, I got what I needed to convert this fridge into a temp controlled fermenter. Got my little temperature control box, which is the main piece of equipment, around about 80 bucks from Keg King or somewhere like that. Out the back of that, you got two plugs, one for heating, one for cooling. Here's the power plug, and here's the temperature probe. So I saw somewhere that you need to insulate the temperature probe. So what I've done is I've got a little old foam esky here, just cut out a little piece here, and I'm going to put the temperature probe in there, tape it into place as you can see on the screen, and then I will tape that to the fermentation vessel when it goes in. The biggest issue I've got is trying not to drill holes in the side of the fridge, because I've heard that fridges can blow up, and look, I'm not awesome at that sort of thing, so I'm going to have a crack at trying to maybe cut a little gap in the seal and do it that way. Although having said that, this cable here is quite a thick cable, so we'll see how we go with that. We'll move on to the next step. So here we are with the wifey's old wine fridge. Now, let's be honest, the wife doesn't really need a wine fridge around here. The wine never lasts long enough to be put in here. So it's going to be put to much better use as a fermenter. A couple of things I've got to do. So, the cable is about 8mm thick here. So what I think I might do, instead of drilling through here, is cut a little notch. We've got about 10mm in the side of the fridge here, where I can cut a little notch, tape the cable to the side and on the inside, and that'll rest in there just nicely. But what I think I'll also do is use this Velcro, stick some here, and allow it to pretty much clamp the fridge shut, and that should do the trick. So I'll get to work. So just a couple of nice pieces of double-sided tape just to be able to sit the box up on the top of this fridge here and keep that in place, and then we'll have the probe coming down through the gap in the door sitting about here, and I'll tape that in. And this is the heat belt that I'll be using, and there's some nice little hooks inside here that the shelves used to hang on in the fridge here, so that'll go down nicely down the side there. I'll just hang that in place, bring it out through the door as well, tape it all into place, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so we've now got the fridge here in situ, as they like to call it. Open up my Velcro strap, look inside. We've got the insulated probe here ready to go, the heat belt hanging up beautiful, all the cables coming outside the side of the fridge, a bit of extra duct tape. You can never have too much duct tape, I reckon. So we shut her up. Next thing to do is set the controller, so really simple here. Hold down the button, put our temperature to whatever we want, so I don't know, let's put it down to 17 degrees there, press the set button. Showing me right now that we're on 18.2 degrees here, so if you can see this little green flashing light here, that's saying it's time to turn the fan on in the fridge to cool things down so I can get it to its correct temperature. So that seems to be working nicely, and then we'll put her in the fermenter and test this baby out. There you go, that's brew day done for me. I've got 18 litres of wort in here. I've tipped in the yeast and given it a rock and roll. Stuck the temperature probe on the side of the thing here. I've got my sanitised tube ready to go for my blow-off container here. All we've got to do is stick it inside the fridge. This is set to 18 degrees to keep it nice and stable for the life of the fermentation. And away we go. I've had a ripping day here today. I just bloody love this home brewing stuff. I tasted my summer pale ale earlier from another session, and I was really impressed. It's probably the best beer that I've ever made. Probably still got a lot of improvement to come, but how good is it when you produce a beer with your own two hands and then you get to taste it and it's good? Oh, I love this homebrew stuff, it's awesome. So, look, anyway, as you know, I'm not an expert. If you've seen anything I've done here today that you think I can improve on, give us a yell, leave a comment, share the video with your friends who are interested in this sort of stuff. But look, until we talk again in the Beer Healer shed, cheers to great beers.